Hi everyone, this is Bulama from Tinq AI, and today I'm going to show you how to paraphrase text in bulk using Google Sheet and the Tinq AI API. So what is Tinq AI? Tinq AI is a production-ready NLP toolkit wrapped into a REST API. It allows you to perform various NLP tasks such as summarization, paraphrasing, name entity recognition, sentiment analysis, and much more. All that without the hassle of training different models. So let's get started. First of all, you'll need a Tinq AI account. You can go on tinq.ai/register in order to register. It will give you access to the API keys that you'll need for the sake of this tutorial. So Tinq AI is available for free. However, we have some free plans available. But for this tutorial, the free plan works perfectly. So after you have access to your Tinq AI account as well as your API keys, we'll go ahead on Google Sheet and create a new blank document. Once we have this blank document, let's give it a name. Let's say okay, I'm just gonna, the name doesn't really matter here, so we just name it. So after we have that, what I'm gonna do is make this a bit bigger and yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and grab my content that I want to paraphrase. So what I'm gonna, you can do with any content, but I'm just gonna go here on long reads and grab each paragraph here, and it's gonna be up. And I'm gonna do that with like a couple paragraphs. You can do that virtually with any number of paragraphs that you want, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna use like 5 of them. So let's see. Okay. And the last one here. Okay, now that we have our content, let's go ahead and write our function. In order to do that, we're going to use the script editor from the tools. So we just have to click on tools, script editor, and it will take us here on Google Apps script. That will allow us to write our paraphrasing function. If you're familiar with JavaScript, there won't be anything new from here except some function native to AppScript, but there's nothing really complicated about it. So let's go ahead and write our function. So we're just gonna create a function called Tinq paraphrase up, and the parameter is gonna be text. So, but first, let's go and read the Tinq AI API reference for the rewriter right here. So, how does it work? We have our endpoint, which is going to be right from the Tinq API, and we have 3 mandatory parameters, which are your API key, your username, as well as a text that you want to paraphrase. And there is also one mandatory parameter that you can use if you want, which is the change level. And the change level basically set the entropy of your paraphrase. Do you want it really different from the original text, or do you want it relatively similar? So in Tinq, there are 3 levels of changes: 10, which is the lowest, 20, which is medium, and 30, which is the highest level of change. So how do we write it in AppScript? So it's relatively simple. First of all, we're gonna set our form data variable. And text, which is text, then API key. We'll leave it blank for now, and we'll go on the Tinq AI dashboard to grab it later, and the username. But I want my entropy to be relatively high, so I'll set the change level to 30. After that, I'll create my option variable that will pass to the request. It's gonna be, and the method here is post. So I'll specify it here. And my payload is gonna be my form data. Okay, now that we have defined that, let's get the response from the server. Response equals fetch app, fetch, and our endpoint right here. That, and we'll set the options as well. Oh, now that we have done that, let's log it and see what we get. Log response, and we'll get the text value from it. Let's do something right now for the sake of debugging it. This is a very good tool for, again, let's save our document and let's make sure everything is right. Okay, and now let's run it. So if this is the first time you run it, let me try to get, if this is the first time you run it, you will be asked for permissions. So let's review the permission that it's asking us. So we just accept that and we'll allow it. Okay, so you can't see it here because the way my screen is set up. Okay, so if you, as you can see here, I need to set up my API keys. So let's go into my account, API in my profile, and get my API key, and I paste it here, as well as my API username, and I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, now that's done. Let's save it and rerun. See, oh, I forgot to add the parentheses right here. As you can see, we have our response from the server, which gives us the original string and the paraphrase. So what we're gonna do here right now is that we want to have it into our Google Sheet. So what we can do here is we're gonna create a variable data, which is equal to the rest, we're gonna pass in JSON parse response get content, and we're gonna return and why paraphrase is right here. If you notice on our API reference, the response that we get here is paraphrases. So this is what we're gonna get right here. We're gonna save it here and go back onto our Google Sheet. So you already know how to use functions in Google Sheet. So we're just gonna call our newly created function here with the content that we want, and the content is gonna be the value in A1. Let's see what we have. It's gonna say loading while it gets data from our server, and there we go. It got the paraphrase. If you can see, Carl Schalf wanted more out of his job. Carl Schalf hopes that he get more of a job, etc., etc. So we can do from all those cells just normally by using Google Sheet. There we go. As you can see, that works totally fine. So thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna put all the code that I used here and all the code that I created into the description, so you can refer to it in order to create your own. And thank you so much and have a good day.